Hi everyone, how are you doing? In countries like Pakistan, a typical student costs anywhere from $3 a month to $10 a month. And there are lots of schools, private schools, which are run by private people to try to help the communities in that money. They try to raise this money using donations. And I was watching Naveen Jain's interview today, and he gave a great idea where we can actually create institutions which they don't have to take donations. So here's the crazy idea. I think that if you have students which are anywhere from 12-year plus, I would like to hire them, or in turn, I would like to sponsor them. So what will happen is, a student is in Pakistan anywhere from 8 o'clock in the morning till 1 p.m. till even sometime 4 p.m. in the afternoon. That makes it 5 hours of study time. So what I suggest is that you find a partner like our company, and then make these students work on certain problems. So for example, I am willing to pay 2,000 rupees per student per month if they can work with us for the next 2 years or 3 years for a certain project. That project can be studying microbiome, or studying water desalination, or any other problem which we're trying to solve. So now what I'm looking for is to get the first 6 to a dozen students. It has to be 3 students in the same place. These students, for example, I say, okay, we will work on the water conversion of salty water into clean water project in the next 3 years. So what will they have to do? First, they have to know English, right? Otherwise, they can't really learn from YouTube. So we have to come up with some kind of KPIs, key performance indicators for these students, so that we know that these students are actually learning and working on our project. So for example, there are thousands hours of video available on YouTube, which anybody can watch and learn about water desalination. So all these kids have to do is, each kid will be watching 1 hour of video 3 times, so that they understand fully what's going on, and then they give summary of what their video is and what they learned from it. And they do the same thing over and over every day on a particular subject. Then a company mentor, like somebody from our company, or maybe we can hire a student which is 18-year-old or 16-year-old, or somebody else who can work as coordinator with these students, can then listen to both videos and evaluate how good this student is understanding and how good is he explaining what he is understanding. So he has to first learn in English and then make another video in English and in Urdu or whatever the local language is, so that the content and the knowledge is kind of filtered, and all the jargon and all the difficult words go away from that knowledge. And then we have the pure data, pure information about how to break things up. To give you an example of what I mean is, you can go on YouTube and you can look for a recipe for making biryani, for example. There you would find recipes which are 40 minutes long, half an hour long, but you will also find recipes which are only a minute long. It's how you explain what you understand properly. So if you understand something really well, you can break it down into 1 or 2 minutes and you can really explain it. That's the kind of content we're looking for, so that people who are learning can actually produce what they're actually can teach what they're learning. This way, these schools who are looking for sponsorships, who are looking for money for teaching these students, they don't need that. Money can come from us. So you can actually have as many students as you want, and just find sponsors for finding solutions. So for example, the sponsor can be for 6,000 rupees for 3 students, your local grocery store, and your grocery stores can say, okay, we will hire 3 of your kids for 6 months, but they have to help us improve our income by 50% or by 10%. This way, the local grocery store is only paying 6,000 rupees, but they will end up having ideas from these students for for increasing their own income. So these students will then have to go and learn what the grocery store is doing, they will have to go on YouTube and learn how to improve the income of the grocery store. If it's a fish seller, how does he make again 20% more money by selling the fish in a different way? So this fish seller can then learn through these students which he's sponsoring how to make more money. And these are very simple ideas, but they actually can happen because the fish seller, the grocery store, everybody else is doing the same thing over and over, which they're doing for the last many years. But the students will come in and observe these businessmen, the entrepreneurs, then go on YouTube and learn different ways of doing the same thing by other people, and then they will be able to teach better ways to the same grocery store owner, to the same fish seller, to the same entrepreneur, how things are done. I'm willing to sponsor the first 12 students, 6 students, and then another 6 students, and then I'm willing to go for up to 60 students by the end of the year. If anybody out there is willing to work with me on this, we will start with 6 students, 2 different projects. We will draw some forms for the KPIs, and we'd love to experiment that if we can pay your students school fees, so that you can create better thinkers, better creators, better doers actually. And these students will learn so much more than just the curriculum which the schools are teaching right now. So if you think you're up for it, let me know. If all my friends out there who are English speakers and not from Pakistan, I would love your feedback on this and how we can improve this even further, and what you think of this idea. Thank you, Naveen Jain, for this idea to me, and thank you to the other school principals who have been messaging me for money, so that I could see that they were having a money problem, and I can come up with this different idea of paying the school fees. The same process can be used in colleges, in universities. You don't have to do this just in school. You can do the same thing in school, in colleges. We're always looking for good people, right? So what if we can sponsor the students while they're in college? We can teach them while they're in college what we will need when they graduate. So they can actually be our workers while they are at college, and then they can go out, and when they graduate, they can become full-time employees at our office. And not just my office, but other offices have similar problems. Because they're being weekly and monthly evaluated through the KPI form, it doesn't matter if they get good grades or not, as long as they're performing in the job which we are giving to them. And if they don't perform, we drop them out by the end of the month or end of 3 months because they're not performing. So we go out and look for better students. So again, let me know, and if somebody wants to understand this idea better, set up a time with me and we'll go Facebook Live and understand this more. Thank you so much. God bless you.